Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: would you be in a sexless relationship? What circumstance would you find acceptable for this? I'm dating a man who got diagnosed with prostate cancer a year or so into our relationship. Prostate had to come out and it's a hit or miss whether or not sexual function comes back. In his case, it was a miss. He wanted me to move on because he got very depressed over it. He's so pleasant and a real decent human being, so I stayed with him. Who would abandon someone due to a health crisis? Unfortunately, he got bladder cancer next, so this is another hurdle to go over. You play the cards you are dealt. We are together in this. Edit: I'll be one who edits to say I'm blown away from the comments and support from my sweet little Reddit community. Each one of you have made my day so much better. I just lost my wife to breast cancer. We are in our 30s. The last couple of years our sex life was hit hard, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. Getting to be with her until the end was everything to me. I'm sorry for your loss. I lost my wife 3.5 years ago to breast cancer at 47 years old. Her original diagnosis was at 40 years old. Our sex life suffered terribly and then pretty much just stopped. She was never the same after her mastectomy. She was my world. I would go another 1,000 years without sex just to be able to talk to her for one more day. Shoot, my son-in-law's mom got cancer and his dad left her and married someone else. They have 4 children. The mom recovered but never really got over it. You're a real one. Best wishes to you and your partner. Edit to add: thanks for all the data, friends. I see the trend. I'll tell you what I see as a relative outsider. My daughter's husband is sweet but struggles with issues mainly around his dad. He is very connected to his mom. It sent a chain of spiral in all directions. No one was unaffected by the dad leaving. Most of it was negative. The daughters struggled hard their teen years. From what I can see, the father is not respected in the family. Not for just this incident. He has a long history of questionable decisions. The dad seems sort of a hot mess, and my daughter's husband yelled at him once at an annual family Easter egg hunt on their property because he was getting a little too fresh with me, flirting-wise. So that's my experience. Thanks again for the statistics. Lesson here. I hope you don't have cancer and a douchey bag partner. Bad mix. Many blessings, friends. My friend's dad left his mom when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. It seemed super fucked up to everyone, including my friend, because he wouldn't give a reason. We later found out that she confessed on her deathbed that she didn't love him and had been sleeping with his best friend for years. There's more to it, but I don't know all the details. Leaving someone when they're literally fighting a disease with their life on the line is one of the scummiest things I can imagine in a relationship. Not just because of how incredibly selfish it is, but because it directly affects the person's ability to heal if they get depressed. My younger brother was dating a girl and it wasn't really going well between them. They just weren't very compatible. After months of trying to fix it, he had just made up his mind to break up with her when she was diagnosed with cancer. I honestly forgot what type of cancer it was exactly, but I remember it having really decent odds of survival with women her age, early 20s. My brother didn't break up with her and was there for her the entire time she was being treated. She eventually beat the cancer and went into remission. And even then my brother stayed with her a few more months so he wouldn't ruin that feeling of relief and happiness for her. She didn't take the breakup well, even though she must have known it was coming. They talked a lot about the problems they had before she got ill, and they didn't really break up on good terms, but I'm still proud of my brother for doing the right thing and sticking with her. I am happily married to my good lady for decades and decades. There are times when it has been sexless for whatever reason, but never has it been loveless. I wouldn't have lasted 2 days in a loveless relationship. Excellent answer, and pretty much the way I feel / we are. Same. We joke about how we masturbate in the shower. Love is bigger than anything. Tired, overworked, kids and all of this, but we cuddle a lot. Maybe this is why. I'm in one now. My husband had a stroke. No sex is not the big problem for either one of us. I had rectal cancer and because of the surgery I can no longer get an erection. It's very lonely. Not sure if one exists, but a site to just make friends, to be cuddle buddies, or whatever, should exist for people like you and me. I lost my sex drive and would like a relationship for that occasionally. In my case, it's not wanting to see someone very often, as well as the lack of sex drive, that I think would make it difficult. I also don't like people over to my home as it's too small for a couch and we'd be hanging out on my bed, which is weird to me. I have a near sexless marriage. The love is strong, but the desire is one-sided. That hurts. I'm staring at this developing in my long-term partner. She would like to get married to me one day. The thought of having sexual incompatibility for a lifetime worries me to no end. In the same position, I try to talk about it and she just says she will try to meet me halfway and then does nothing. I'm coming to the realization that I need to move on unless I'm willing to be unhappy for the rest of my life. We haven't had sex in 5 months due to numerous reasons. Never have alone time with my mom and daughter here. We're both too tired. Our bed we have sex on is where my mom is sleeping. Our waterbed is difficult to use. We always say next weekend and it never happens. We're still going strong though. We love each other and that's what matters. If it's in your budget, just tell your mom you're taking a little staycation for whatever reason you'd like and get a room somewhere while she watches the kid at home. It might even make things more fun than having the same opportunity at home. Husband won't do it. I tried, so it's his loss. Lol. Your mom should be made aware of this, so that she can watch your daughter. It's just so awkward. We've spent weeks trying to come up with a way to talk to her about it, but it's always just weird. Lol. I'm over 80. There's a lot of people that are going to be real shocked once they hit their 70s. As someone who no one in their immediate family has lived to 70, can I hope for a sweet, sweet, sexy life? Yes. I would just masturbate a lot. My girlfriend is my best friend. I love her so much. I'll never leave her or stray. If for some reason she couldn't, it wouldn't bother me. But we're slowing down a bit anyway. And we're couch potatoes. We'd just get a giant TV and watch movies and be happy in each other's company. She was in an abusive relationship for years. And I was in an emotionally abusive and sexless marriage for years. I found my kindred spirit. And she's amazing. And I'm happy. God, I want this. I'm so happy for both of you that you have each other. I was gang raped as a student. When I first met my now husband, I was in complete denial and we were having a lot of sex. Eventually I had a complete breakdown and our sex life was practically non-existent while I went through therapy, etc. I can probably count on my fingers and toes how often we had sex in the 3 years after we married. I felt awful about it. I even went as far as to say he could have sex with other people while I dealt with my issues. As far as I know, he didn't do this and now we're getting back on track. The sex is the best it's ever been and it's a lot more frequent. I'm sorry that happened to you and really glad the therapy helped. Good work. Thank you. I still have my bad days, but overall in a much healthier and happier place. Asexual people everywhere be like. I'd see this as an absolute win. I'm asexual and scrolling here is a roller coaster. So many comments about love not being possible without sex. Meanwhile I am the most romantic and loving person I know. I forced myself to have sex with multiple past partners out of fear that they would leave me. It's complicated to say the least, lol. 2 of my friends are both ace and have been in a relationship for years. So many people equate sex with love and that's absolutely not the truth. You don't have to have sex to be in a loving long-term relationship. Right. Like, asexual doesn't mean aromantic. I'd still like that, have someone to love, just not someone that equates sex with love. I don't even care about sex anymore, I just want to love someone and be loved without any conflict / cheating. Yay, love me, I'll love you back. Help me, and I'll do my best to make you smile. Don't break my trust by going with someone else, and very few things could set us apart. Pretty simple goal, right? I'm in one. Not happy about it, but love is still there, so that's nice. I am in one and it's complicated. I'm in one that is just less sex than I want and it is complicated. Also, you don't know when you get married how life will change you and your spouse. You can very well marry a horn dog and expect them to stay that way, but it's no guarantee they will. Yup, people age, bodies change, hormones shift, desires meander. If you marry, you should know, the life you're marrying may change and you have to be okay with that. Same point of contention, because he says it's 'cause he can't stay hard but refuses to get the V. He thinks therapy will help his dick. But never seeks it. I just think he doesn't find me attractive anymore. I'm too depressed most days to argue about it. I am literally in this situation. Says he will fix it but doesn't try. I stopped initiating because being turned down constantly is brutal. I'm starting to lose attraction towards him. As someone who this happens to, I promise there are a lot of reasons outside of just attraction. Stress, anxiety, age, and a lack of new stimuli are all huge leading factors for men being unable to perform. Stress and anxiety are the silent killers because even people who think they aren't that stressed may not realize how much there is in the background. Age also really messes with it, and the change can be dramatic. I'm only in my late 2020s and I can tell you that the change in my dick function has altered dramatically in just the last year or so. Some weeks it feels like my old buddy is back, and other weeks it's like I'm working with an imposter dick. The stimuli thing is sort of just a reality of human wiring. Studies have shown that men can become habituated pretty quickly to stimuli, and it makes changing it up incredibly important as we get older. My partner and I have recently honed in on this, and I can promise that it makes a big difference. On days when I know I don't really feel like sex, my partner will suddenly shift things around a little bit, add a fun new kink, use some new dirty talk, etc. And suddenly I'm ready to go. It doesn't fix it all the time, but it's one extra tool in the toolbox. Genuinely though, take the time to explain to him how you want to help find a solution. Listen and sympathize with him. Let him know that you know it must be frustrating, embarrassing even. Tell him you're in it for the long haul, and that it's gonna be okay. Men need reassurance about stuff like this because so much of our personalities and culture are tied to the virility of masculinity.